So we got more news regarding NASCAR's future, and I was waiting to make this type of video because I wanted to see how things came further along. Just waiting for a few more details regarding the on-track product, schedule, and media rights. A day before this video was uploaded, NASCAR's Steve Phelps discussed all of those topics. During the 4th annual Race Industry Week of webinars, he hinted at the next Cup media rights deal being announced soon, and it's looking like NBC and Fox are to remain the broadcasters for Cup races for 2025 and beyond. Oh boy, there are definitely mixed opinions on this. We all know how great NBC is, although they are nowhere near perfect. That's a narrative that needs to end. NBC can do no wrong. They do mess up from time to time, but don't get checked as much for it, and it's understandable to a point. They are terrific when it comes to commentating and broadcast presentation. They keep you on the edge of your seat, even if the race is just a single file parade. That says a lot about their on-air talent and production team. As for Fox Sports, hell nah. They are the total opposite. There are even multiple videos on YouTube discussing how bad they are. Fans have had it with their unserious demeanor and goofy antics. The fans were so vocal that even Mike Joy addressed them very briefly during the Daytona 500. That was in regards to commercial breaks, but you get the point. Now there's also been talk about what their streaming deal's looking like. And according to Sports Business Journal, NASCAR is shopping a 10-race package. This would be similar to TNT's old summer series. They had originally planned to carve out a 6-race package, but felt 10 was the perfect amount. Right now, both Amazon and Turner remain the frontrunners to pick up the mid-season package, meaning the two could split the deal with each getting 5 races. This is way more polarizing than the Fox Sports deal, and don't get me wrong, both platforms have a ton of potential. Amazon now has a proven track record with Thursday Night Football that they can put together a solid sports broadcast similar to the levels of NBC Sports, hell, better in some areas. Turner has a proven track record already, as from 2001 to 2014, they were one of NASCAR's broadcast partners. But that was on TNT. Let's say NASCAR does get added. The only other streaming service they have besides NCAA and NBA Digital is Bleacher Report Live. I have a ton of thoughts on this deal, but I'll try my best to keep it brief. If you go back to the 80s and 90s when Trax would negotiate the TV rights, how many broadcasters did they have in total? They were on 4, sometimes 5 different channels a season. That was very confusing back in the day, and I feel like we're reverting to that. Not all the way, because the broadcast partners will have their races in order. It's not gonna be all spread out. But the streaming part, I love the idea. I've been saying for a while, we need to get with the times. Everyone is cable cutting, so why not join one of the top streaming platforms? The problem is how it's executed. Not 1, but 2 in the span of 10 races? You're already gonna be dishing out money for one of the most well-known streaming platforms, and then dish out more for one many have never heard of? I didn't even know Bleacher Report had a streaming platform. Again, it doesn't say exactly where it's gonna be, but I would assume it's Bleacher Report Live. If it turns out to be TNT, that would be a much welcome surprise. Lastly, don't forget the increase in media rights fees, as money is crucial for these teams. They have been asking for a larger piece of the pie, and we'll see what happens with that in the future. Now to the schedule. They're not gonna add or take away any Cup Series races. It's gonna be the usual 38. Phelps said for the foreseeable future, we are going to have 38 races on the calendar. He also said, our season is long enough, so I don't see that expanding. Good idea not adding races. Now for losing races, I'm not opposed to the idea. And no, that doesn't mean, oh, you hate racing, oh. My philosophy is the shorter the better. If you have less races, more fans are going to crave it until the next season finally arrives, and personally, I think NASCAR needs to officially get out of football season. At this point, it's viewed as a spring and summer sport. It is not the early 2000s. We need to come to grips with that, but from the sounds of it, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Okay, now let's get to the nitty gritty, and oh my gosh, this had a lot of fans riled up. Shout out to Avery on Twitter, he's an awesome follow, so check him out. He posted this quote from Steve Phelps regarding more horsepower. I don't think the answer is more horsepower because more horsepower is expensive. If you ask a driver what's going to solve it, they're always going to say, give me more horsepower. It's a thing. I'm not a driver, but I've listened to enough drivers and that's their solution. So the question, is that really what it is? I don't know. I think there's some gearing things that we're looking at as well. Some shifting things. Okay, we're... Oh man, there's a lot to go over. If you're a driver, oh my god, you have to be extremely frustrated. You know, it's safe to say that drivers tend to be experts when it comes to how the car races. So maybe when they say, hey, we need more horsepower, you should definitely consider it. But he really asked, is that what it is? Is that the solution? Come on. I'll give him credit for this. At least he was upfront about the expensive part. You do have to understand, at the end of the day, it is a business. But on the other side, I have to go back to what Chase Elliott said.
The drivers say one thing, and you have engine shops and budgets and things. I don't really see where having a little more horsepower is going to change the bottom line that much. Personally, to me, if you're increasing your entertainment value on track, it might be worth a little extra on the bottom line.
Let's be honest, is he wrong? I'm sure if horsepower was hella expensive like NASCAR's making it out to be, many drivers wouldn't be asking for it. It's not like they're asking for like 1,000 or 1,500, just a little extra to make the cars more racy. We've seen how terrible they are on short tracks and in some cases road courses, and since these tracks make up a good portion of the schedule, it is important. No, it is vital that the on-track product be fixed. And no, it's not going to be the end-all cure-all, but at the end of the day, it's going to look at the very least a little bit better than what we currently have. 2024 marks the 10-year anniversary of the 2014 season, and man, meaning we are way past the days of having a ton of horsepower. And from the sounds of it, it doesn't look like the drivers are going to get more anytime soon. But hey, that's all the recent news regarding NASCAR's future, so now it's time to sit back and see what happens. And while NASCAR fans don't agree on everything, I think we can all agree on one. The next few years are going to be crucial towards NASCAR's future. Anyways, let me know down in the comments how you feel. Do you agree with NASCAR's changes? Would you like to see some other ones? Do you think it's good for the sport's future or not? And what changes would you add? Let me know it all in the comments below. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.